With every Veterans Day that goes by, there are fewer and fewer World War II veterans left to tell their stories.
But there is an organization here in the Lehigh Valley that's working to make sure those stories are preserved. 69 News reporter Rob Manch spoke with the founder of the Lehigh Valley Veterans History Project and one of those World War II heroes who is still with us.
Michael Sewards has a binder full of veterans he's interviewed since he founded the Lehigh Valley Veterans History Project in 2007.
You get all kinds of stories from it's amazing what you hear. And you're not reading that stuff in history books.
We had a chance to hear one of those stories firsthand from West Catasauqua native Angelo Boquico.
On November the 13th, 1942, I was drafted into the Army.
Boquico served in the 13th Armored Division in France during the war, riding in a half-track. He still remembers it like it was yesterday.
The worst thing was always being artillery. No matter where we went, there was always artillery. And we lost quite a few that way. And those are the ones never got home. And I say I praise them a lot more for what they did.
Boquico's story and sacrifice will forever be preserved in the Library of Congress thanks to the Veterans History Project, along with more than 500 others. The group's secretary, David Babb, says his own father is among them.
With Dad present, we all sat down and watched his story. And it was just a real bonding time. We deeply appreciated getting to capture his history. And it will mean more and more even as time goes on.
And the members of the group say they recognize that meaning is bigger than all of them.
So some of these guys have held on to these stories for almost the entire life before they actually had somebody to tell it to. So that's why we continue to keep doing this.
Preserving the history of heroes for generations to come. In Allentown, Rob Manch, 69 News.
It is Veterans Day. People across America honoring the men and women in the U.S. military for their service to the country. From the Lehigh Valley to our nation's capital, special events are happening today to thank our veterans. Good evening, I'm Rob Vaughn.
I'm Wendy Davis. The rain didn't stop celebrations all across the region as communities said thank you to our vets.
The Joint Veterans Council Forks of the Delaware and Easton Memorial Day Parade Council put on their annual ceremonies, which have local vets attending, and they've done so for decades now. It was the 100th anniversary of the World War I Memorial Park in Upper Hackett Park. Over at Arts Quest in Bethlehem, 3 generations of veterans discussed their experiences in World War II, the Vietnam War, and the Gulf conflicts.
When you sign on that line, you're writing a blank check to the United States government that you're going to put your life on the line. And I think that's the most important part that you can take away from being in the military.
The Parkland School District also honored more than 100 veterans at 4 assemblies. We'll have more on ceremonies around the area tonight on the news at 6.
In Bethlehem, veterans were honored at the National Museum of Industrial History. The Steelworkers Veterans Memorial Committee hosted its annual commemoration ceremony that included a performance by the Brockville Middle School Band. Veterans and their